address that with GS here some more, but we didn't obviously. I don't see those as equivocal. And even if they were, do two wrongs make a right? Oh, they did bad thing, or I perceive they did bad thing, and therefore I'm going to do bad thing to them. What does that ever do? What does that ever accomplish? Ever?
What do you mean by that, though? There were no
Well,
bad
well,
things happen.
well. That's why I said perceived, right? If this person, if I perceive them as doing bad things to me, now I have the right to do bad things to them. If they called me stolen valor, now I can call them PDF file. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's good, and I think that's asking for a problem.
Well, that's what
You,
David Finkel
you
did.
certainly have.
That's what
You certainly go ahead, Vips.
that's what David Finkel did to
Sorry,
GS.
Vic.
He talked about his wife, talked about banging his wife out behind his back. Are you willing to apologize for that, Finkel?
Hey, Vegas, why don't you apologize for the fake accounts that you keep making of me? How about that? And why don't you just go away, go touch the grass, or go water some more dirt or something, for the love of God?
Can I throw in a thought, like not knowing anything about the situation?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't think that accusing somebody of something that's a crime and making derogatory statements about somebody's family that are obviously, just derogatory claims. I don't think those are the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. And
They're distinctly different.
and Vegas VIPs. So I mean, it sounds like a bunch of things happened that weren't necessarily nice, and I thought we could get into it. I don't want to get into it too much without GS here now, but I realized the conversation he wasn't happy in the moment, and it is what it is. I'm saying what I see. I'm telling it how I see it, and with that could be a good thing for GS. If he says that he wants to know when he makes mistakes so he can rectify them. So if I'm pointing out a mistake, let's say that you're right, Vegas. Let's say that they made more mistakes than GS made. That could be. If that's true, then as they come out, then I would say the same thing to them, right? I'm not holding anyone in some high regard. I'm not sucking the teeth, right? I'm just saying what I see. And it looks like we have MSG retired. How's it going?
Top. Yeah, I'm here. Just making some adjustments on my settings. Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. We'll get to
Hey,
chat more
Izzy.
in depth tomorrow.
Izzy, I'm just curious. What makes you think it's okay to tell me to go away?
Because you are just so annoying, dude.
Oh
I mean,
my
read the
God.
comments. You're a nobody. Like, just go.
You're a nobody. No one would know who you are if Stonebed didn't bring you on. That's just the reality.
Okay.
I'm a
We all
I'm
have
a
to start
self-made
somewhere.
I'm a
By the
self-made
way.
channel myself. I started from zero.
I
No one
am a
when
nobody.
no, you were platformed by Stonebed. So
Very
I wouldn't
true.
talk if I were you.
Very true. Okay.
Vegas is one of those children who thinks the whole world is YouTube. Izzy is a
No, actually,
Elected official.
I work and
yeah,
I have jobs outside of YouTube.
It
job.
doesn't seem
But
like
go
it.
ahead.
Part-time gig jobs. I get it. Vegas is a child whose whole world is YouTube. Izzy is new to YouTube.
You weren't you
Doesn't
just
have a
talking
very
about
big.
banging someone else's
Hey,
wife online and
hey,
you're saying that, David Finkel?
hey,
You're
child.
not a child yourself, you idiot.
All right.
Man,
Izzy
dude,
is new to YouTube,
you're a
but
fucking idiot
outside of
yourself, dude.
YouTube, she is an elected official. She has a life. She has a very well. I'll let her tell her own story, but she has a very big life outside of YouTube. And her issue with you is putting on sock puppets like matches.
Hey, somebody has some background noise. If they can just mute while they're not on. I don't know who that is.
Is it me? Okay.
It's
Sorry, I got a little heated there. Izzy comes onto YouTube and she has opinions and she has friends outside of YouTube, and some of her friends overlap between YouTube and outside of YouTube. But my point with Vegas and her suggesting you go away, you could take it however you want, is you are also old Sarge Finkel. You are also Izzy. You are also, I've lost track of how many socks account. And all you do is play these trolling games, trying to turn one side against the other for your own little childish entertainment. And whatever anyone thinks about jokes about PDF files or doing each other's wives or whatever, I get it. It's all childish, but you spend an enormous amount of time developing these sock puppets, like the one you've did. People thought they were having conversations with me. I thought I was having conversations with what was her name, News Now Ronnie. It turns out that was you. You admitted it. Of course, you told her something else, but I can go on and on and on. You're a child. We all do childish things, but you are a child.
And so are you, sir. You talked about banging someone else's
That's
wife,
your
and
opinion. That's fine.
dude. The same thing could be said about you.
Sure,
I don't know what
anything
your
can be
point
said
is.
about me. What's his name? Todd said that I was a PDF file. At one point, he said it in anger. Another point, he said it in parody. I don't care either way. I guess I'm trying to answer, and I'm getting heated because I have to talk over you, because in your childishness, you don't know how to say something, shut up, listen, and then respond accordingly. You like to talk over people. Part of your childishness, and I'm sure you could say many childish things about me. Yeah, it was very childish for me to make that joke about his wife.
Finkel, you're pushing 60 and you're talking about banging out other people's wives. Dude, you're pushing 60
Dude, it
and you're
was a
talking about that
joke.
stuff. Like, come on.
Viagra before I banged her. It's a fucking joke. It doesn't offend you because it's between Todd, me, and if she wants to get involved, his wife. It's childish humor. I get it. I don't deny it's childish humor. It's the thing is, some of us are enjoying dunking, and some of us are getting really, really pissed off all the time. If you watch that 2 hour and 55-minute stream that he just did, he's red in the face, he's angry, he's yelling, he's shaking his finger at the. He's not having a good time.
And
If you're not having a good time, do something else. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. You're right.
no, you good. And I want to hear from MSG Retired. We have not met before, but I've seen a little bit of you. And how you doing?
I am doing well. Kind of in the midst of all of this shit. I have been threatened to have my brakes beaten off today. Somebody was going to beat the brakes off me. It's just, I don't know. It's insanity. It's insanity. Yeah, my whole spiel, I started this probably right after I retired. I basically, and stolen valor, for whatever it is, some people have a problem with it. Some people don't. Some veterans have a problem with it. Some veterans don't. I have a problem with it, but I don't go out and demand people give me their DD-214s. I never have. I never will. I do my own investigations. People will send me an email, and I've outed many guys. I've got quite a few videos, and I've got a drawer full of records that I've requested. I will say, out of all of the ones I've ever done, I've had 2, maybe 3 that were legit. Everything. One of them, man, I was on the fence about this one guy. I was like, yeah, this guy is full of shit. And come to find out, he was a special forces medic. So, I do my due diligence. I know the answers to the questions before they're even asked. So in regards to Kaiser, before I ever even said his name, I had his records right here on my desk. And the reason I went after him is because of all of the claims he was making that didn't make any sense whatsoever. Humvees going 70 miles an hour, getting stopped dead in their tracks by an RPG hit. Yeah, it doesn't happen. And many other things that they just kind of make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems to me usually I've noticed people will talk themselves into or out of continuing the charade. They'll say certain things that don't align, and it's like, oh, right? I ran into this woman a while back who was telling me, it was at an old job I was at, and she was telling me how she was in the Marine Corps, and I could tell right away she was full of shit. She just was. And I asked her
Exactly.
what rank she was, and I don't remember. I'm gonna mix it up, but it doesn't matter. The point is, she was like, "Oh, I was a staff sergeant," and I said, "Oh, is that an E3?" And she goes, "Yeah, E3." And I was like, "You're full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah, and Vegas Vips is the one that pointed out at the time mark when that little stretch there where somebody said they were going to beat the brakes off of me. And Vips, I don't get, you know, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said they were going to beat the brakes off of me, I'd have a pile of money just because of my job.
That sounds correct. We should all learn how to love each other, and just to go ahead and quote someone like a Flow State who, he'll often say something like, "You won't do anything about it, but complain on the internet." We should take heed from wise words like that. And this is supposed to be the Based Oracle podcast, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of confused because. It's not very based to, kind of come on here and, create the Jerry Springer show when, I'm kind of dead now. So, I thought we moved past this, guys, and, you'll never be like me. Okay. And, I also was kind of curious, why are elected officials on panels? That's kind of a strange choice.
Who's the elected official?
I think he's
That
talking about JJ.
Once you become an elected official, do you lose all other aspects of your life?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Well, you could go on panels, but going on panel with a convicted felon with pending felony charges, sentencing for his upcoming felony stuff, and not to mention the Donald Edward Cameron.
Especially when you're in part of the justice system. Not a good look for an elected official who is an elected jailer who's in charge of a correctional facility. Going
Who are we?
on-
I don't even know who we're referring to specifically.
Yeah,
but
this has to do with Kaiser. I don't know if you're aware of him.
don't know.
Stolen Valor guy, convicted felon, 5 open felonies. He was the sole. He was indicted for a murder that was dismissed without prejudice. Now,
So he's an elected jailer, which isn't a
no,
thing.
he's
a sheriff?
not. He
Okay.
has an elected jailer on his YouTube channel.
You mean a sheriff?
No, it's Kentucky has elected jailers. It's not a sheriff like all the rest of the world.
And let me do a pause here for super chat. Is this Flo or Izzy?
This is Ike. Thank you for the $50. Where are the white women at? This is a restream, Ike. I appreciate the support, and I'll try to supply some next time.
Supply some. What the fuck?
Well, first of all,
What is this? I'm actually going to get myself out of this if you're going to supply some women.
well, this lady on the top here is very beautiful. So, I mean, whether she's white or not,
I'm
I
brown.
have to say you're very
I
beautiful.
lived in Utah for 30 years. There were a lot of white women.
I don't see color. I'm colorblind. I mean, I talked about it all the time on my show. So, I think we need to move past all that. And,
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I was just kidding.
a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman. I mean, she could be rainbow or chocolate colored or, any of those colors would be fine.
Yeah.
Is Gia still in the chat? I saw him say something about his show not starting until 9:30.
Yeah.
Seems like you got a
saw
few
that.
minutes to jump back up here, buddy. Say hi to MSG.
So
Uh,
can I say something? And
Yeah.
I don't want to stay here long. So Old Sergeant and I were actually in Master Sergeant. We were talking earlier. We were watching a video of him totally going off and losing his marbles, and even saying that he would like to take me to didn't he say that put me in a rank and punch me left and right and whatnot? and then also coming after my husband. All of that did happen. This is earlier today. This is a show he did today. So for him then to go on your show and God just came to me, sent me a text message and told me to be a good man all over again, and I'm gonna try open a new slate. And I'm not mocking God. Listen, I love God myself, but and then for him to say, go back to my country, he fought for my country. I was born and raised in Iraq. He was in Afghanistan, according to him. Those are completely two different countries, buddy. They're not even close to each other, but nice try. But again, he also accused me of having an IQ of 70, I guess, or 80 today. Did it go 80 today?
Went up to 80.
Oh yeah, that's true. Went up to 80 today. So this man is what is the word? He's very triggered. So no matter what I watched your show the other day, Base Oracle, and I think you had, what was the man, Unbreakable or Unstoppable or something? The cook.
Untrackable.
Untrackable?
That's it. Yeah. And he was literally showing him, listen, those are jokes. This is when you laugh, and this is when you take it seriously. Took him to the water, to the pond, and then he started singing Shakira, Shakira, because he is so, I don't even know the word, like maybe bipolar is one of them. I don't know. I'm not a professional here, so do not take my words seriously. This is YouTube, not real world. Anyway, so those are the things that we were talking about earlier. And then tomorrow he's going to have a tour or an apology, non-apology tour again. And then, ask for forgiveness, from people and whatnot. Things like that. So I'm really concerned about the man. He's very obsessed with Old Sarge, and then now, Master Sergeant and Josh, it's really creepy, very creepy. So I thought this is why we're here today. We're going to just talk about that. That's initially where I joined this conversation. But what do I know? My IQ is 70. I don't know.
Hey, Dickbag, you like my T-shirt?
I love it.
Oh, he is in the chat, so don't take this as I'm talking behind his back. I'm taking it that he's sub 70. Today he streamed that she was 80, and then within seconds he said 70, and then he said sub 70. So he can't make up his mind. But part of my issue with him, and I'm enjoying it, is he takes everything as an attack from a group. Josh can say stolen valor, and I can joke about sleeping with his wife, and Izzy can say he's being childish, and he doesn't go for when his response aren't point targets at each of them at what they said. He does a area target, trying to spray us all down with his mental machine gun, thinking we all said the same thing about everything. I think it's just he's not aware of who's saying what and what he's responding.
And we're gonna talk about that here in a second. Richard AT with the $20 super chat. Thank you.
Yay, Rich.
GS, do you think that makes you look? I think tough, talking shit about a woman that did so much for this country.
Probably.
Do you want to? Yeah. So on that note that you were just talking about here, Old Sarge. So something GS and I were discussing the other day, if I recall correctly, is that he has some work to do on controlling his emotions, and I was asking him, how does one work on controlling their emotions? And I think what he had said is, I don't know because I need to work on them. Something like that. I'm not trying to misrepresent, but I think that's what was said. And at that point, I think he was kind of in the joking mood, but I was trying to get at, actually pragmatically, how does one do that? Because I think he is allowing himself, he is enabled, and I'm not saying it's completely within his control, but there is some control that I think he needs to harness in order to be not so affected by what other people say. I've had people do full-on hate streams of me, and then I've gone on their panel the next day. Like, I don't, I'm not too worried about it. I just don't give a fuck. And I realized something also, not to sound too holy here, but I didn't used to not give a fuck. Probably 10 years ago, I would have cared, I don't know if as much as GS, but let's just say on that level, I would have been more affected by it. And I think that there is something missing, something he needs to work on in order to get to that point, if he chooses to. Because I haven't seen a lot of hate on the other side, but to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of the content he has. I know he's asked me to watch a lot. I don't feel like watching content after I get off YouTube for the most part. I'm very selective, so the hate stream stuff, I'm just not that interested in. Even for myself, let alone somebody else, I really don't give a fuck then.
Totally. That's why you should watch. I mean, and I'm not promoting my people here, with the F3 boys. It's literally nothing but joking around, It's nothing serious. It's kind of like, I think they were like joking with Old Sarge earlier, or maybe Master Sergeant earlier, and it's fine. Like I've known those guys for 20 years, and we all joke around. We don't go and cry about it. You know what I mean? And I'm a woman, and I was assigned to these men. I lived with them inside a jail in Iraq. Who cares what people say? It doesn't matter if you know what you've done. Literally, who cares, right? Back to your point.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. And I don't know. I just find it really funny that he gets so triggered, but then lashes out and he's like, oh yeah, God told me today I'm not going to cuss anymore. And then then 2 minutes later, he'll get on his whatever and then start calling me the C word.
Right. Now look, I never take cheap shots. I don't joke. I was born without a sense of humor. So I don't completely align with where, a lot of you are coming from. But if I did have a sense of humor, I would think that I just wouldn't take things so seriously. And I know that people do. I've had some people in this space, write me paragraphs. I mean, when you get a text message and it's like paragraphs long, and I'm talking about other content creators.
Like 10 text comes in.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even want to read this now. It's too long to even want to read, because I know it's going to be overly emotional if you needed that many fucking words to say whatever you had to say. And again, I'm talking about other content creators. I'm not one. Yeah, I know. Some that by the way, Flo. But no, I'm not going to throw that out here. I'm not one to put up, private conversations or, text messages. It's just really not how I roll. But occasionally somebody will release one, as what happened recently with Andrew Wilson. So, I went and released all of them regarding this conversation, because I was pressed for it. Andrew Wilson said that you quit the debate, and he showed one of the text messages, so I went and showed all of them and said, really? He blocked me. How did I not... Anyways, I digress.
Oh, Richard's on fire.
Hey, Based, can I ask... Based Oracle, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
So, would you ever force somebody to produce their DD-214 if they didn't want to?
No, I would not. However, I don't know that anyone can force anyone to do anything. And welcome, Primal Studies. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? It's been a while.
It has.
Yeah, keep going. I don't want to.
Oh, and you got the pup with you. All right, good company.
There'll be all sorts of dogs, I'm sure, wandering around in the background.
And Flo, you got a gifted 5. Well, I'll let you do it.
Let me see that. There's another. Oh, and I missed Don't Judge Me earlier. Thank you for 7 months of membership if you're still down there. Steve, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I'm doing a restream, but next time I do one on mine, I've got you and Romello have flyovers coming.
Very good. And we got one more here. Richard AT with the $10 super chat. Thank you. Sorry about the misspell. Sub 70 IQ. You know what I mean. Yeah, I think he was in the chat and clarified that too, that it was something about 70 you know.
Okay, but I have to ask, to what standards though? Again, are those international standards, American standards, or Iraqi standard? What are we talking about?
The IQ?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Japanese people are so smart ass people.
Or Kentucky, his little town, or what?
I think it's metric standards.
Valid point for sure.
Just saying.
And Bill Hicks saying that I have been caught out in lies before. I digress. So I'm very angry and rageful about your comment, and I already forgot about it. Moving on.
I love
Hey,
this guy.
Based, GS is going live with JJ. Keep up the chiseled jawline, my man. Thanks for having me up.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Peace out.
So, Primal, I don't know how much you were watching of this so far, but you got any takes or thoughts? We're talking about burning bridges and mending bridges, although the mending's not going so well so far.
Yeah, I mean, just in the whole concept of itself, I've kind of been in the periphery for some of this and caught a little bit of this and that, but I don't know, man. I think some people just take YouTube really, really, really serious and really hard sometimes. I think that's what it comes down to. And if it's going to get you that spun up, then maybe take a step back from it. That's generally kind of what I see, and that applies for a lot of people. I see people, not even just with this situation, but I had somebody leave a comment on a stream I did a month ago that was saying something about, well, this person just did this, and it's on a stream from a month ago, and they're commenting on it. It just makes no sense to me. It's almost like some people are just really hyper fixated on this space for whatever reason it is, and it's like they have this hyper fixation. They can't do anything else, and they have to just go in and in and in on it. And I see sometimes people need to like take a break. Sometimes I see people streaming, 9 times a week, 10 times a week, and it kind of just blows my mind when I see that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Primal. And I've noticed even in myself sometimes it's like, man, I need to get the fuck off of here. Like, I need to get away from these fucking people. All of you.
I mean, it's great to have good conversations and have fun, but if you're starting to get mad, and it's starting to like, you're thinking about it when you go to bed that night, or you're thinking about it the first thing in the morning,
that's right.
That's a point to like take a step back further.
Exactly. Right. And that's the thing, right? I have not had one night that I haven't slept like a fucking baby. Regardless of what's said about me or done or multiple streams and this, that, whatever, I sleep like a baby.
Is it because you're an alcoholic?
Wait a second, though. Babies don't sleep really well at night. I don't know what you're talking about. They wake up.
Well, that's kind of me. That's the Marine Corps in me. But yeah, no, I'm with you. So, like you're saying, though, Primal, if it's affecting you so much that you are thinking about it before bed or when you get up, then you have a problem. And the problem is not the people coming at you, although you may view that as the problem. That's just the problem that you want to associate. The real problem is how you're internalizing what strangers say.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, do we really know any of these people online? Like, what is their, like, everywhere you go, I don't know about anybody else here, but don't you think that somebody's going to not like you just because they don't like you for whatever reason? Do you expect everybody in the world just to like you or agree with you? If you do, then I'm sorry, I got a bridge to sell you somewhere. But if you go enough places, somebody's not going to like you, and that's okay. That's just the game.
Yeah, I think
you don't necessarily have the ability to, quote unquote, block that individual other than walking away and not engaging them, right? But online, we have so many liberties that we're capable of doing to people because they disagree with us or they're opposed to the types of things that we are thinking about.
That's true, right? You do have control. We don't have control over all things, but what you do have in your control, you can utilize. So if somebody truly is bothering you, then you can fucking ignore them, you can block them, you can do whatever you need to do to get them out of your head. And it looks like we got another Flo. Damn, Flo, on my stream? How could you do this?
I appreciate it. I owed you some from yesterday.
I know you did.
Thank you, Harmon, for bringing me back over 1,000. Last night, Chuck was very generous, and he pushed me over 1,000 members. And then over the next few hours, some of the existing ones expired, so I'd fallen right below, and I was at 999 before I put out the call for help. So thank you, Harmon. I need to make a list of people.
Look at that. The guy with more members than I have subscribers. Look at that.
Hey, gang. I just want to thank you for your hospitality. Nice to meet all the new faces. And good to see you, MSG, Finkel, and Izzy. And hope to see you around. Appreciate you having me up.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping up, Dickbag.
You all have a great evening.
That is his name. That's his name.
Yeah. Dickbag Patrol. I got your T-shirt on. It says DP Breaks, though.
I still laugh every time I see it, though.
Well, be careful
one of
you
my-
don't get them Careful you don't get them breaks beaten off of you, Master Sergeant.
Yeah, I know. But
Make
this is one of my
T-shirt
race.
that says-
This is one of my
Love
race
it.
sponsors. So
good.
if you ride a
Love it, man.
motorcycle, DP Breaks.
Love it. All right, guys.
All right.
See ya. Thanks.
You have a good one, Dickbag.
Yeah, all the exits are going based. I'm gonna hop because I gotta hop in the shower and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just
Cool.
wanted to come up, say hi, let you know, still watching.
Cool, man. Yeah, glad to have you up as always. And we got to have some conversation someday, Primo,
Yeah, man.
because
Maybe,
I know there's
maybe-
some things we're going to get into at some point in a good
yeah,
way.
It's,
you know?
yeah, no, we'll have to we'll have to plan out a thing at some point.
Okay, cool, man. We'll do the
Nice shepherd, by
rubber
the way.
ducky
Oh,
stream
thanks.
or whatever.
Sounds good. Yeah, I got too many of them. They just run all over the place. I got 3 of them in here somewhere.
Cool, cool.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, man. Have a good one. And
Yeah, I was really hoping.
I think he was getting his shower right then.
yeah, that could be.
For sure.
So let me ask a question. How many people here are veterans? Izzy, you count because you've been around us way too much.
Thank you.
I
how-
think.
I'm just a veteran of these streets.
Yeah,
What'd
yeah,
you
yeah.
say? I'm sorry. What was the question?
I was just curious how many people on here are veterans.
Well,
served in the Air
me,
Force.
you, Fax.
So when I
Veteran
say
of the
this,
war.
when and Izzy already knows, I've said this before. In the military, every unit you've ever been to, you've always heard mention of that guy.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You've
Mhm.
always got that one fucking guy,
Yeah.
pardon my French.
No, you're good.
He's always the one that asks the question when everybody's getting ready to get out the door.
Right.
He's always the one that's got the better idea on how to do something, even though it's not what they want done or whatever. And basically, in regards to GS, I got brought into this because I made a comment on one of his videos about all the people he had commenting on that video saying it's illegal to get a copy of someone's DD-214. It was
I thought that's
worded in normal English language. However, he went on a freaking tangent saying that I was attacking him and his service. And I went on a live stream, on his live stream, and tried to explain it to him. Unfortunately, he is that guy. That's all I can say. I don't know what else to say.
you're spot on.
Yeah, our guy. He is that guy.
Yeah,
There's something that's not his comprehension or his understanding of what you say or what you write. Everything seems to, he kind of twists it to where it's like an attack on him. Because
well, I do think he can be a bit defensive to your point.
a bit.
And I've
A bit?
been a lot of bit.
A
and,
tiny bit?
Well, and perhaps he is working on it. I'm still more than
Squishy.
willing to have
Squishy.
GS on stream as well as everyone else here.
Oh,
I
and I'm
think
not
that
saying-
that GS has been working on himself to a degree, and we'll see how things go. Things do take time, and if he ends up feeling less bad about other people's comments over time, then I think he'll be on a good track. I think that will be a good thing. If he
And I think
doesn't,
this
then
is help
that's
that
on
he
him.
should have gotten. He should have gotten this help a long time ago when he was still in the military. Somebody in his senior leadership should have seen this and addressed it and got him some counseling or whatever. I've got a guy that made a comment who was stationed with him at Fort Polk and said, "Yep, he is that guy." So I guess his arrogance from back then, precedes him. But
Aren't you scared though? He's
I
gonna
think the
beat
thing
you.
that
I'm not. Yeah, like I said, Izzy,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I've been in the Army. I was an MP. I've been a police officer for almost 10 years. Came off the road last October due to Massachusetts, the communist wealth of Massachusetts, having an age discrimination issue. Now I'm semi-retired, but if I had, like I said, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said they were going to beat my ass, I'd have an awful lot of nickels.
I love when people do it in person. That I actually prefer.
I love it.
Doesn't happen often, but when it happens, I'm down. So
Well,
we're gonna
but
do.
Go ahead.
What's that, Izzy?
He did claim that because he mentioned Old Sarge earlier and how he is 6'2", and he said he has beat a ton of 6'2" guys in his past or something.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
basically he said everyone that he's had to deal with has been taller than him. I don't know how tall he is, but apparently he's short. But
Yeah.
how are you going to say
So,
He's
everybody?
5'7". I mean, I'm 5'7". I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, is GS 5'7"? I thought he was
Yeah.
taller. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Facts. We're gonna do closing statements now. I always wrap up around 2 hours, and we're about there. So, thanks for coming on tonight, Facts. You got any final thoughts? Any plugs you want to do? Any random spurging? Whatever you want. Now's the time.
Well, Facts with Fact of Madness is on Tuesday still. It's no longer he and I. And we've had many conversations. I think you may be aware of that. And there are glimpses of times where you hear that he concedes that he needs to work on some things, and then you have a very huge swing. I just hope and pray, that he gets to the point where, to your point, that he just figures out that he doesn't have to be affected by so many things as much, and then I think everything will be okay. The community deserves all of us being aware that it's probably bigger than us, and our own little egos, so to speak, don't have to always influence the things that we say and do.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will do. Let's do Old Sarge next.
All right. These are closing thoughts.
Yep. Closing thoughts, statements. If you have anything you want to plug, whatever.
Okay, I'll plug Base
You
Torch.
got it.
Great show. Master Sergeant Retired Thursdays. Great show. Fact of Madness. I don't know your schedule, but great show. Did a great Juneteenth. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday?
It was the day before the.
Yeah, Izzy's
Actually,
starting
the
the
19th,
show.
on the
I
18th.
think she's going to host me.
Tomorrow.
And I imagine it's going to be a great show. I haven't seen. I thought it was White Devils Flow State on YouTube. I haven't seen your show yet. If you have a show, but I'll try to check it out. It's Flow State?
Yeah, I've got that handle, so you can put that the @Flow State behind YouTube.com, or I'll put a link in the back chat for you. As
All
well.
right, and thank you for the outro, Flo. Moving on to it. You got any final thoughts here?
That was actually going to be my primary final thoughts. Thank you to everybody who contributed this stream, including the ones who contributed to Based, but especially the ones who didn't contribute to Based.
Especially. And are you streaming in a little bit here?
I don't have anything set up right now, but I'm sure I'll have something going on tonight in a little bit.
Cool. Does anyone here have something that's coming on in a bit?
I
We
do.
have a show tomorrow.
Okay. The reason I was asking, I was going to do a redirect in the YouTube chat. But all good. You got a little outro. Any final thoughts here, Izzy?
No, honestly, I mean, if we're sticking on the topic that we kind of came, originally for, I just wish him, the best, and I hope he gets well. And let's leave my husband out of it because he's not even on YouTube, and that's really, I don't know what else. I mean, he had a whole episode about me. I don't know. Again, I was just a bystander and started getting his, some of his shots at Josh, and I somehow got injured with some of them. So, but I'm not, again, I'm not really new to getting shot at, so it's all good.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, thanks all for coming on tonight. It was great having me as the host.
Did you have MSG retired say something?
Oh, no, I don't know if I did.
No, he didn't. He was just going to throw me to the curb.
Yeah.
That's only because I'm going to be his host tomorrow morning.
I was setting you up for
at ease. He put you at ease without even saying it.
Yeah,
as you were
freaking in the closet.
You know what it was? I started saying that when you were on, so I thought I'd gone through you. But yeah, plug or any final thoughts? Anything you want to plug, MSG?
Yeah, well, like I said, I just came up. I wanted to get a feel for it. We had never met or talked, so this was kind of cool to come up here and meet you, chat with you a little bit, see what you're all about. Fink, I know him. Izzy, I know her. Flow State, nice to meet you.
You too.
Checking out your channel. And Fact the Madness, I will definitely check out your channel. I support as many veterans as I possibly can. In regards to the reasoning for tonight, I don't know. I'm just waiting to get the brakes beat off of me. That's all.
Nice. So look, I get it that GS
by the way, let me just say this.
Yeah.
I'm 65 years old.
Oh.
I go to the gym 3 days a week. I road race motorcycles 1 or 2 weekends a month. Last year, I had a really bad crash down in Georgia and fractured 3 vertebrae in my back, compressed fractured 2 other ones, along with some ribs, and I was back out racing 2 months after that. So I may be old, but, I'm durable.
Good. So I get it that probably Todd is a little bit, GS, a little bit salty. So we're going to end things on a good note for GS here. And
yeah, there's Based. Our Based is in the house. Good to see you. I'm glad you're. I saw your live, man. I have to tell you, Based, it was hard for me to not want to click on and get into it, brother. For being a bit my junior, as it were, you got some wisdom, man. And the more I listen